Steinach's experiments. The fact that the conservation of seminal fluid through the prevention of external discharges results in an increase in the amount of internal sex secretions pulled into the blood lies at the basis of the Steinach method, or rejuvenation through the ligature of the vas deferens, obstruction of the duct which conveys secretions from the testicle to the seminal vesicles from where they are externally discharged. In 1903, Buin and Ansel first performed the operation of vasoligature on guinea pigs, rabbits, and dogs. They noted that the cutting of the spermatic duct, containing the spermatic nerves and blood vessels as well as the vas deferens, resulted in the symptoms of castration, but that the ligating of the vas deferens alone produced no such change. Instead, an increase in the supply of internal secretions occurred, as demonstrated by rejuvenative effects following the operation. This was also observed by other investigators. In 1920, Steinach observed that vasoligature, as the operation of ligating the vas deferens is called, resulted in regeneration in rats. After ligature of the vas deferens of a very old rat, whose hair was commencing to fall out, whole eyesight was failing, and whose body was emaciated, a remarkable transformation occurred. A new growth of soft, fluffy hair appeared all over the surface of the body. There was a marked increase in appetite, weight, and strength. The bent position of the aged animal changed to that characteristic of a vigorous young one, and the dormant reproductive instinct was reawakened, the animal taking a new interest in the opposite sex. An autopsy revealed that the ductless glands, which were previously shrunken, were now in perfect condition. Steinach then applied this method of rejuvenation to human beings, and claimed to have obtained no less remarkable results. The various symptoms of senility were made to disappear. The arteries became more elastic. There was increased capacity to absorb oxygen and eliminate carbon dioxide. The entire chain of endocrines was revivified. There was a greater concentration of red blood cells in the blood, the nervous system became stronger, and more powers were heightened. Summing up his numerous investigations, Steinach concludes that his operation, which prevents external passage of sex secretions by tying up the duct through which they must pass, produces the following rejuvenative effects in animals. Quote, "The genital glands are increased in growth, and their functions in intensity. In a word, the old inactive gland is rejuvenated. Some weeks afterward, the renewed activity of the gland spreads its influence on the entire organism and on the psychic state. All the mutations which the old animal had passed in his youth are relived a second time. The influence of rejuvenation on organic nature is derived from the renewed hormone and is represented principally by the following fact. A feeble, sickly animal is transformed into a robust animal. The scarcity of hair, the bald spots, the blemishes have disappeared. One can observe the marked growth of tissue in comparing microscopically the seminal vesicles, the prostate, and others before and after the operation. With the renewal and the re-establishment of tissues, there is also a manifestation of their functions. The appetite is revived, the exchange of substances grows, and weight increases. The faculty of restoration manifests itself as in youth. Apathy, impotence, feeble interest are all transformed into stormy passion and violent powers. The aging animal is restored in its reproductive powers. The little ones thrive in good health and are perfectly capable of transmitting their health to their offspring. Thus, the old animal comes to life again organically and functionally, enjoys anew a certain period of this new life, and can expect a length of life which apparently surpasses the average limits. However, this rejuvenation is temporary. Experiments by Steinach and others have shown that several months after the operation, the animal suddenly lapses into deepest apathy, quickly ending in death. It is supposed that a particular kind of auto-intoxication is taking place. Operations performed on men according to Steinach's method also had no lasting effect. There was a temporary rejuvenation, most efficacious in early senility, but having almost no effect on very old men. For this method, the method, as a permanent means of rejuvenation, is now viewed with a critical attitude by experimenters. Steinach has since replaced his rejuvenation operation, vasoligature, by hormone injections. Working for Professor Frey of the Zurich University and the Swiss veterinary surgeons Staheli and Gruter, Professor Steinach at first devised a method of treating sterility in cows by implanting ovarian tissues and in steers by grafts of male sex organs. The results were reported to be very satisfactory, but the high cost of treatment and the necessary training of the operators prevented it from becoming of practical value. Further investigation showed that a single injection of progenon benzoate under the skin of the animal's neck would cure sterility, if it were of glandular origin. Out of 46 cases, 44 were successfully treated, the results becoming apparent within 24 hours. Some of the animals were 9 to 10 years old and had been sterile for 1 to 2 years. The results were said to be due to reactivation of the sex glands.